Hey guys, Sarogus from Crusade Gaming, bringing you the best of gaming with the War Z review. Now this will be a 4 to 5 part mini-series covering all the features and footage that developers have released on the War Z. I will also be doing update videos as the developers release more features and footage, but for the moment we'll cover all current information. Now, most of you will have heard of the War Z, but for the few of you that haven't, well, it's the latest announcement to the zombie survival genre that all started with DayZ. And if you haven't heard of DayZ, well, where the fuck have you been? Now, War Z is a survival horror MMO that has the player set in a post-apocalyptic zombie-infested world. It's a little bit different. It's a viral outbreak that caused all this. It's decimated the human population, and you're one of the survivors. Getting straight into it, the War Z, in my opinion, is going to deliver a gaming experience for this genre that DayZ isn't capable of doing. It's going to have key features that even distinguish it from DayZ. Though this isn't a key feature, it is a feature nonetheless, and I will talk about it. Big open worlds between 200 to 400 square kilometers. Now, for a size comparison, DayZ is 225 square kilometers. Yeah, same size maps, but the difference is in the server sizes. DayZ servers range from 40 to 50. That's the average. Of course, there's the odd server having more or less, but the average is 40 to 50. The War Z, however, aims to introduce server capacities of up to 250 players. Now that's 5 times out of DayZ. The developers of War Z have released a photo showing the scaling of their first map, which is Colorado. Now, this screenshot shows pretty much 90% of the map. Yeah, it doesn't look like that much, but that's around 160 to 170 kilometers of playable terrain. Yeah, that's definitely smaller than DayZ, and it is smaller than Hammerpoint's original estimation of 200 to 400 square kilometers, But this is their first map. As I said, this is Colorado. This is their first map. So obviously one could assume that Hammerpoint is going to be releasing late maps later on in development after release. So you're going to see new environments, new features probably. By features I mean new features on the map. So you probably go from a mostly environment-based map. As you can probably see, Colorado is a lot of forests, very few cities, to mostly urban-based, which would be pretty cool. Yeah. First of, I don't know how many maps. You can see bigger maps, most definitely, using the 400 square kilometers that they probably did estimate at. That's what they probably do intend to design to. You can even see, maps designed with a larger player base in mind, which is what we then have to factor in when we're considering the size of the map. Now, as I said, this Colorado map is around 160 to 170 square kilometers. Hammerpoint has labeled the Colorado map as comfortable with player counts of up to 130. And even at 200 plus, you'll be able to meet players every 15 to 20 minutes, which, of course, is circumstantial depending on where you are. Now, you compare that to how often you run into DayZ. DayZ is a bigger map, has much more player count. I mean, of course, if you're going to churn all electro, you're going to run into everyone like every 5 seconds, but it's what War Z's done, it's balance. It's really, really good balance, and that is just the simplest way of putting it. So moving on, I suppose we'll take a look at the HUD itself. Now, it's a very simple, very, very clean HUD, which is what you want. Now, starting in number 1 in the top left is marking the time and date. Hammerpoint has said that they do have universal time and date across all servers, with the day and night cycle sitting around 4 hours. But that's only during the alpha at the moment, and that'll change in the beta so they can get a firm value. So just remember that number is open to change. Number 2, top right corner, your visibility and sound meters. Featured in DayZ, we all know this one. The faster you move, the more noise you make, and the more visible you are. Your posture also affects this, so if you're standing up more, you're going to be more visible as if you're lying on the freaking ground. Now, there's a lot of controversy with the War Z. It's been accused of pretty much stealing everything DayZ has done, and the sound and audible meters, visibility and audible meters are definitely another thing that would be added to the long list that people are having of things the War Z's done and stolen from DayZ. Shut up. This will probably... You're obviously going to see more survival, zombie survival games come out for this genre. And I'm pretty sure you'll see this as a staple feature for all titles that do come out for this genre. I mean, it just makes sense. And it's not the first... DayZ was not the first game that had, includes visibility and sound as to, whether you get spotted or such. But I think it was one of the first games to actually have meters monitoring it. People just need to be stopped saying goddamn nitpicky. Continuing on, number 3, the bottom left. Your food and water levels, which you can see in this photo, the player is dehydrated, which is shown by the bar on the right. When you're dehydrated, you will lose health every few seconds if you don't drink something, which is pretty cool. I like that. It's not a, with DayZ, a time-based thing where you just drop dead, I believe. I've never really gone that far. I've found water before I've died. Down here you also have your health and stamina meter. Your health shown by the human outline thing. You can clearly gather that, just for those of you that you couldn't. The stamina meter is not visible at the moment, but that's only visible while you're running. I will show some footage later on, and you will see the stamina meter there. I'll point it out to you if I remember. I will remember. I just may be a little bit late, I'm telling you. You also see your blood toxicity meter here if you get infected, that is. Yes, the War Z introduced the ability to get infected by zombies during encounters. A whole new array of problems for players to encounter and deal with. This feature I applaud. The Q can be manufactured. That will be our next topic after this, but for the moment, we're going to continue on with the HUD. Number 4, your primary and melee weapon, which can be both equipped at the same time. So that's numbers 1 and 2. Primary weapon, secondary weapon. Your primary could differ from a rifle, secondary to a pistol, or even a knife. If your primary is a bat, I think. I'm not too sure, but you get the idea. Numbers 3 through to 6 are all quick slots which can be accessed by pressing the accordion keys. These allow the players to equip any item that can be accessed, that can be used on yourself and other players, All I can say simply is awesome. There's those moments in DayZ where you really need morphine or a freaking bandage, and you have to open your bag, right click, and then impatiently watch an animation. I personally love this feature. This allows a player to adapt to a situation they're presented with, but also simply removes the monotony of sifting through your freaking backpack to find some damn morphine. Yes, you may have to access your backpack, but later on in the footage I will show, you'll see the backpack and how freaking neat it is compared to DayZ's chaotic heap of crap. But that's not DayZ's fault, that's Armor's fault. Though there is those extra quick slots from numbers 3 through to 6, that doesn't mean you can have 6 weapons equipped. That's just ridiculous. You can have 1 primary gun, 1 secondary gun, which is, a pistol, and then you can have 4 items, so bandages, medical stuff, morphine, food, water, things like that. Quite simply, well done, Hammer Point. Lastly, number 5 in the bottom right. If you have a firearm equipped, this will indicate how many bullets are left in your magazine and how many magazines you actually have left. It also displays what kind of fire mode you're in, which is one of 3, semi-auto, 3 burst, and full auto. Though some weapons have 1 mode and some also have others. Though it should be noted, hardcore players, hardcore mode, will not indicate, as to how many bullets are left in the magazine. And what's more, in the War Z, when you reload a half-empty magazine, you lose those bullets. I'm not saying the magazine just disappears from existence. It drops onto the ground, and whatever remaining bullets are in that magazine when you reload, stay in that magazine. It's not like a Halo or COD or anything like that, Battlefield 3, where you reload, it just, fills up the magazine from your ammo count. You actually have to monitor how many bullets are in your magazine on hard mode. I think that's staple across normal mode as well and hardcore. That when you reload, any bullets left in there will be dropped to the ground in the magazine. But hardcore players definitely have it cut out for them. You got to monitor how many bullets you fired because you damn well can't see. You got to keep a count on your magazines. So, yeah, hardcore mode is definitely hardcore.